Did you know that Jesus, the Son of God, once took on the role of a servant and washed his disciples' feet? Quite a surprising event, isn't it? Imagine the revered Messiah stooping down to perform a task typically assigned to the lowest servant. But as we'll see, this act was far from mundane. It's a profound testament to humility and service, a gesture teeming with layers of significance waiting to be unraveled. Stay tuned to find out why. The act of foot washing was an unexpected and humbling action for the disciples. To comprehend the depth of this event, let's transport ourselves back to the ancient times. The dusty and unpaved roads of the era meant that feet were often soiled, and washing them was a common courtesy extended to guests. However, this task was usually assigned to the lowest of servants, as it was considered menial and humbling. Imagine the scene: Jesus, their leader and the one they followed, the Son of God, assuming the role of the lowest servant. He rolled up his sleeves, bent down, and began to wash the feet of his disciples, one by one. The room must have been filled with a stunned silence, the air thick with surprise and confusion. Peter, always the outspoken one, couldn't contain his bewilderment. "Lord," he exclaimed, "are you going to wash my feet?" The very idea was unfathomable to him, and indeed to all the disciples. How could their leader, their teacher, the one they looked up to, stoop so low? But this was no ordinary leader. This was Jesus, who was turning their concept of leadership on its head. He was showing them that to lead is to serve, that greatness does not lie in being served, but in serving others. This act was a vivid demonstration of the radical nature of Jesus' teachings. He was not here to conform to the world's standards, but to set a new standard, a standard of love, humility, and service. His actions were a powerful illustration of his words: "The greatest among you must be your servant." The disciples were left grappling with this unexpected display of servanthood from their leader. It was a challenge to their understanding, a challenge to the conventional wisdom of the time. They were being called to rethink their notions of power, leadership, and greatness. It presented a challenge to their understanding of leadership and servanthood. But what was the significance of this act in relation to Jesus' teachings, one might ask? The act of washing feet, as performed by Jesus, was not just a simple act of cleanliness. It was steeped in symbolism, representing humility, servant leadership, and love. Jesus, being the master, took on the role of a servant, showing humility in its purest form. This act was a stark contrast to the societal norms of the time, where masters were served by their servants, not the other way around. Jesus was demonstrating that to be a true leader, one must first be a servant. This was his way of telling his disciples, and by extension all of us, to serve others humbly, without expecting anything in return. The act of foot washing also symbolized servant leadership. Jesus, being the leader of his disciples, showed them that a true leader is not above serving others. Instead, a leader should be willing to do even the most menial tasks for the welfare of others. This was a radical idea at the time, and it remains a powerful lesson for leaders everywhere today. And let's not forget the symbol of love. By washing his disciples' feet, Jesus was showing his unconditional love for them. He was expressing that his love was not based on their status or what they could do for him, but simply because they were his disciples, his friends. This act of love was a testament to the kind of love Jesus taught, a love that is selfless and sacrificial. This act of foot washing was a physical representation of these spiritual concepts. It was a lesson in humility, servant leadership, and love, all wrapped up in a single act. It was a practical demonstration of the teachings of Jesus, making them tangible and understandable. This was a powerful act that revealed profound truths. By washing his disciples' feet, Jesus was not only teaching his disciples, but also setting an example for all of us to follow. In doing so, he was showing us the path to true leadership, humility, and love. So what does this mean for us today, you might ask? Well, this story of Jesus washing his disciples' feet is not just a historical event. Its relevance echoes through the ages, calling us to examine our understanding of leadership and service. In a world where power and prestige are often the measures of success, this act of Jesus challenges us to redefine what it means to be a leader. Leadership, as demonstrated by Jesus, isn't about lording over others or seeking personal glory. Instead, it's about serving others with humility and love. It's about putting the needs of others before our own, just as Jesus did. This story also calls us to humble service towards others. In the hustle and bustle of our modern lives, it's easy to forget the value of serving others. But remember, every act of kindness, no matter how small, is an act of service. Washing someone's feet might not be practical in today's context, but we can still serve others in countless ways. And finally, this act of Jesus reminds us of the transformative power of love. Love that isn't self-seeking, but self-giving. Love that stoops down to wash dirty feet. Love that reaches out to touch and heal. Jesus' act of washing his disciples' feet was a powerful demonstration of servant leadership and a call to humble service towards others. Let's remember this lesson and strive to live it out in our daily lives. If you found this video insightful, it's a sign that you're on a journey of exploration and understanding. There's a whole world of wisdom waiting to be discovered, and we have a wealth of content that can aid you in this quest. So, why not dive deeper? Explore more of our videos and let the wisdom of the ages enlighten your path. Remember, every journey starts with a single step, and each video you watch is another step towards a greater understanding. But this journey isn't one you have to take alone. We're a community of seekers, ready to learn and grow together. So share your insights, your questions, your reflections. Engage in the comments section, and let's embark on this journey together. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below.
We are constantly making new content to help you on your walk of faith. Please like and subscribe to make sure you stay up to date with the latest content.